You know, folks, uh, that I thought I'd do this as sort of a spur of the moment kind of video because I just read something today, or just noticed something today, and then read some people talking about it today over at DeviantArt. Apparently, they got a new core system going on. I don't really know much about it, but apparently the status has been changed from premium to core or something like that, and now the prices have been raised to a point that I guess premium or core membership is like $50 or something. And you know, this is not the first time people have complained about change. You know, a lot of us want change to happen, want things to be better, but we don't want it to be better or to be changed at the expense of doing something that's going to piss us off in the end. You know, you take a look at, let's say, YouTube here, for example. They've done a lot of great things. There's no doubt about it, but they've also done some things that have pissed us off. You know, there's a lot of us, including myself, that don't really want to montage our videos or even go in that direction just yet because we're not too sure about it. You know, there's a lot of us that don't like the fact that YouTube, let's say like Angry Joe, there's some of us that don't like the fact that YouTube is basically not allowing us to montage of videos that are part of what we use to make a living out of. You know, Angry Joe, as you've probably seen in some of his videos, has not been too thrilled at the fact that every time he tries to do a review or a let's play, that not only does it get flagged, but it also doesn't allow him to make the money he needs to off of it. And that's one of the things that some people like Angry Joe and several others do not like about YouTube right now. You know, that is why, you know, with Blimp.tv going down the way it is, you got people like Huey Lewis, Huey Toonmore that is, Bob Show, you know, Chris Moore, and several others jumping ship over to places like Dailymotion. Why? Because even though Dailymotion has somewhat of a similar structure as a video streaming service and may be at times on par, if not a little under, of what YouTube can do, at least they're more freelanced. They're not going to come down on you and say, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because Dailymotion, believe it or not, is not homely located here in the U.S. It's located and based in the freaking UK. You know, that is why you got people like Toonmore and Bob Show and several others that rather go to Dailymotion than try YouTube again because they don't trust it. It may not just be because they got several strikes on them in the past, to the point that if they get one more or two more, the account's done. It's more along the lines that whether that's the case or not, they don't want to take a chance with YouTube, you know, screwing them out of their accounts and having to start all over again. Now, I know some of you might say, well, Animat's okay with it. Here's the thing about Animat, about Matt Bennett. That's his choice. He pretty much sees that YouTube is a bigger platform. And he's got other sources as well. He's got GoIndie TV and a few others that he could showcase his material off of. He's got several other outlets besides YouTube. I think he's even working with Screenwave Media, I believe. I'm not really sure. But he's got several other outlets. So just in case YouTube does down one of his videos in the future, it doesn't mean it's the end of him. True, there's no doubt that Animat's probably thinking of going over to Vimeo or Dailymotion and making an account on one of those, if not both, just in case. If not both, just in case. But you see, hold on for a sec. But you see, it's more along the lines that it's his choice. Now, could Toonmore do that? Of course. Toonmore still has an account, and he still has several full-fledged videos on there from the past, sometimes in multiple parts, in his past seasons, in the same with Bob's show. But the thing is, in recent years, they don't want to take a chance that if, especially with everything coming down the way it is as far as copyright laws and all that, they don't want to take a chance that they might do something that's going to cost them their channel. They'd rather say, hey, here's a 1 minute, 50 minute, or here's a 1 minute, 50-second trailer, or a 45-second or 50-second trailer, or a minute-long trailer of what you can see in my next video, but you have to go here. You know, and again, that's one of the things people don't like about sites like YouTube. The fact that they do not. The fact is this: they got these restrictions down to almost to a T. That yeah, some might say, well, they're letting up a little bit more. They're being more lenient. Yeah, they are letting up more. They are being more lenient. But guess what? That still doesn't excuse the fact, in the eyes of many people, that they still look at YouTube as a site that, even though it's the biggest platform you could think of right now to upload videos or your shows or whatever, your material, and present it to the world, they still look at it as something that they can't really trust because they don't know what's up the sleeve. And the same with DeviantArt at times. I mean, you know, DeviantArt has made some changes. Some people like it, some people don't. And they're doing whatever they can to get DeviantArt back, well, price-wise, back to the way it is. Back to the prices that they can afford. Heck, there are some people that are trying to get places like DeviantArt back to the format that they're used to. Heck, people were doing that with YouTube. When YouTube started switching around a lot, they were trying to petition YouTube to get back to the formula they knew of. But you see, again, it's basically no matter what kind of changes happen, no one's truly going to be satisfied. You know, I talked about this, you know, in writing and on a video about the Sonic comics. You know, it's like no matter what the writers or the artists do in those comics, no one's truly going to be satisfied. The same with the changes here. No one's truly going to be satisfied with what DeviantArt does. Some people might say, oh, well, you know, DeviantArt, they're just doing what they can to, you know, feed their staffs, you know, help the staff, the employees and administrators, you know, feed their families, pay their bills and everything. You have to understand that. And there are some that do. I understand that. But then again, there are some that don't, because pretty much they feel, hey, why do this? Why do this when you were doing well enough with the price range you gave us? And again, it doesn't sit well with them. It's kind of like when you commission somebody. You know, for me, when I have the money, I commission people to do projects for me, because either I could do it myself, or because I'm working a lot, I can't find the time. And mostly when I get home from work, I go straight into that room and I plop my butt down, lay down on my bed, and I'm out cold sometimes. But that's why I commission people. You know, and sometimes, true, some of my commissions might be a little bit on the strange side, but if they're willing to do it for the price that they are letting me pay for, then so be it. So be it. You know, I'm totally cool with it. And I understand in a sense that it's something that helps them, even if they have a job or they don't, like I do, it helps them get that extra money to pay bills, enjoy birthdays, even their own. You know, pay for, you know, buy Christmas presents or buy Halloween costumes. Things like that. Go on trips that they've been wanting to go on for years. So even though some of us may not like the fact that sometimes prices go up or even go down, we have to accept the fact that it's a way for somebody to make a living. And that's what DeviantArt's doing with this raising of the price to $50, the membership price to $50, and changing it obviously from premium to core. I mean, let's take a look at Patreon, for example. You got several people on Patreon, like Huey Toonmore, Linkara, Animat, Zeranizarak. You know, the list goes on. You know, you have the Lexman that's on there. Again, you got several people on there. Several people on that site. Many. And the reason they're on that site is because it helps them make that extra money. And especially with the fact that now you have Blimp.tv going down in the next 2 weeks or so, it's additionally important for people like Animat, Delexman, well, mostly Animat, Huey Toonmore, Bob Show, Zeranizarak, if he uses Blimp, and several others, because of the fact that that's going to be the only way they can make money off the videos they make. That's the only way they're going to make their living. Because otherwise, if they don't, they're going to end up doing what many people like myself have done, what Farah Gray Parthenia has done, and many others along the line have done, and that is they're going to have to get off. How do I put this? They're going to have to get off the butts and go online or go in person and apply for a job, either at a Walmart, a Target, at Kohl's, or whatever. Hopefully get that job and then have that money they're making there and add it to the money they're making with this other stuff. You know, what they're making with the videos through Patreon. But you see, that's what they're hoping they don't have to do. That's why some people may not like sometimes Animat or Toonmore coming up with the prices that they do. Excuse me. I mean, you have Animat has several different award programs in his thing, and the more you pay, the more you get. For example, the highest he goes, I think, is $100 to maybe $120. And at that price range, between 100 and I think maybe 120, but mostly 100, is you get not only a review of your choice by Animat, but he also reviews something like a television show or something else that you choose as well for him to review. And at $75, he does the same thing. He does the same thing, except he just does movies. The point is, some people may not agree with that price range, even though he's kind of changed it up, made it a little easier. Some people may not agree with that. Some people may not agree with what Huey Toonmore charges sometimes, but guess what? What he charges is, that's affordable to get yourself maybe 2, 3 requests out of the guy. I don't know what Linkara charges, but you kind of get the idea. The point is, we may not like certain things, like prices being jacked up for no reason in the eyes of some, or prices being, at the range that they are, even though they might have been made easier for us to afford. We have to accept the fact that no matter what changes we get, whether it's a place like DeviantArt changing premium membership to core membership and charging $50, whether it's places like YouTube changing up to the point that, oh yeah, we're being more free, to the point that, oh yeah, they're being more freelanced in times, being more, well, not at freelance, but more lenient at times. The only exception is, yeah, you could have the video on there, you just can't montage it, and we may not like that change, and we may want it changed to the point that we can montage off it. We may not like certain things that YouTube does, or Dailymotion does, or Vimeo does, or DeviantArt does, or Furfinian. We may not like any of these changes or these changes, whether it's to the site itself or the prices that they jack up sometimes for memberships or whatever, or the ruling that, oh, you can't really montage, the ruling of, oh yeah, you can have the video uploaded onto your channel and everything, but you just can't montage off it. We may not like any of these decisions, but we just have to deal with them. Now, true, a lot of people are doing these change.org things to get things changed around and done and changed around to benefit them in a better way. And that's okay, that's fine. You want to do that, go ahead. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how you feel about it, no matter how you, me, no matter how Angry Joe, Animat, Huey Toonmore, Bob Show, Linkara, Sarah Nizarak, anybody feels about it, we just got to deal with the fact that until the people at DeviantArt, YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, Furfinient, Pal Comics, if you're into that, and the list goes on, until they realize that what they're doing sometimes is not for the best, only then will we probably have some change. Now, will a change.org thing work every now and then? Of course it will. Of course it's going to work every now and then, but will it work entirely? Not all the time. I mean, heck, I asked Darren Nizarak his thoughts on the whole change.org deal to get Jim and the Holograms movie changed to something else, or changed the title to something else. And he basically flat out said, it's not going to happen. As much as we like it to, it's not going to happen. So the point is, whether we like the change or we don't, we just got to deal with it. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've worked 1.5 years at my job now. And there have been many changes in store, with management and stuff, that we've either liked and appreciated, or we haven't liked and we don't appreciate. But even with that said, even with some of the stuff we may not like, some of the changes that we may not like internally, like with management, or in store with certain things having to be done certain ways, even though we may not like it, we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it until something better happens, until something or somebody comes along and says, hey, this is not how you're supposed to do this. This is not how you're supposed to do that or this. You need to change it up to benefit not just the customers, but your associates as well. We just got to deal with it, folks. We just got to deal with it. No matter how we feel about certain changes, we just got to deal with it. So that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.